Hello, everyone. Welcome back. It's been a while. Um, I wish I personally had better news. Um, it sounds like at least all indications seem to point to the fact that Eaglemoss or Hero Collector, depending on whatever name you want to call it, will cease to exist. And that is unfortunate, not only for all of the people who are losing or who will be or who haven't already will be losing their jobs as a result of this whole thing, but also those of us fans who have spent money and time and effort um, in these various collections. Personally, just to give you a little background for those of you who don't know, um, I first heard about the infamous, or the, at that point in my life anyway, the unknown Eaglemoss company that was going to be starting up this collection called the Star Trek Official Starships Collection. They touted it as something that was never before done before. They would be making ships across the entire Star Trek universe, from the original series, The Next Generation, or let me go backwards. The original series, the animated series, The Next Generation, Deep Space Nine, Voyager, and Enterprise. Ultimately, that line was, or other lines sort of expanded from that, and the Discovery collection came out, the Picard collection, the short-lived Picard collection, Lower Decks, etc. And I was so excited about it at the time because nothing like that had ever happened before. And at that point, it was a mere $40 a month. You got 2 ships in the mail, 2 ships, 2 magazine, once a month, and it seemed like a really good thing. And for a while, it was. You know, I was really excited because in my life up to that point, any Star Trek models or ships that I ever got were the same old Enterprises, same old Romulan Warbird or Bird of Prey, same with the Klingon. Maybe if you're lucky, you got a Voyager or Defiant or something out of it. But for the most part, it was the same basic core, 5 or 6 basic ships that we've seen a bazillion times throughout Star Trek's licensing history. But then this collection came along and gave us all sorts of things. I'm a proud owner of these Eaglemoss ships. As you can see behind me, I have entire shelves dedicated to them. That's all 180 plus issues of the main collection for the most part. I think I'm only missing a couple. And then of course I have all the shuttle packs, or most of the shuttlecraft sets there, a few XLs up there, a few of the XLs also down there, like the Defiant XL, which is probably my favorite. I have the XL Voyager, I have the Alien Sulaco XL, the Discovery Enterprise, the smaller one and the bigger one, and the dedication plaques, which are there. I even have the Superman Eaglemoss watch, because I'm a big Superman fan, as you can probably tell right there. And that case, glass case, is all Superman figures there. And I even have the Eaglemoss Batmobile, which is also right there. So Eaglemoss has been a part of my life for several years now, a very long time for a lot of people. And it's really sad that it's coming to a rather unceremonious way end. I would have hoped that it would have gone on. To be quite honest, I've slowed down a long time ago. The pandemic had a lot to do with that for me personally. Priorities, life, and kind of got in the way. Sure, I ordered a ship here or there, but it wasn't like it was before. In fact, I lost interest. Not lost interest, but my interest sort of downgraded long before issue 180, the Board Cube came out, which I finally got and shared with you. It started way back around issue 148, 149, 150, and that mostly had to do with the endless delays because of out of stock, out of stock, out of stock, out of stock. For the longest time, the Jem'Hadar, what is it, the battleship, I think, the USS Antares, the Miranda class kit bashed USS Antares, and the, what was the other ship? Oh, the Krenim ship, not the weapon ship, but the other one. Those three ships, for some reason, were extremely hard to track down, and I never did get them as part of the subscription. I had to sort of break away from that and get them on eBay, and I luckily at some time afterwards got them all for a very decent price, and I was happy to get that. But once I got there, I felt like they were scraping the bottom of the barrel as far as the ships were concerned. They weren't all we had. At that point, we have all of the Starfleet ships from across all of the eras. Same thing with the Klingon ships from Next Gen, DS9, Voyager, Enterprise, the original series, the movies. Same thing with the Romulan ships, the Vulcan ships, the Cardassian ships, which there are only a few, the Borg ships, all of the Earth ships from Enterprise, and the list is just endless in what we've gotten in this collection, and of course all of the books. I have most of them. I just put that one there, kind of like just to kind of remind me, and plus I plan on rereading it. That is the revised version. So yeah. When that collection was first announced, I was so excited about it. It was 2013. I was going to Europe in a couple of months, or in a month or two, and so it was an extremely exciting time. I was dating a really good girl at the time, so life was kind of like on the up and up, so it would seem. And I remember going to the Star Trek convention in Las Vegas, which I, for the most part, up until recently, did every single year. I'm only missing a few in between. But there, the Eaglemoss had a booth set up. They had the first issue, which was the Enterprise D. You subscribed for $4. You paid $5. You got the first issue right there on the spot. And you knew you were going to get another one soon, and it was just like opened up a whole new door. They had concepts of what would later be some of the models in the collection on display, so you can kind of get an idea of what was coming. And, I would say 80%, 80 to 90, I would say 80 to 90%, maybe even higher of the collection consists of ships that have never been produced or made in any format ever before in Star Trek's entire licensing history. Anything from Enterprise outside of the NX-01, all of the Dominion War ships, pretty much all of the extra Borg stuff outside of the Cube and maybe the Sphere. All of the kit-bashed Starfleet ships from Wolf 359, all of the various Miranda class variants that we got, the different Voyagers we've gotten. The list is endless. So many of these ships we never, ever got. And dare I say, probably won't ever again. This is about as good as it gets. For me, this meant a big deal. It makes a big deal in my life, because at one point, the only thing that we had as fans, that I had, were the Star Trek Micro Machines. And even now as an adult, I finally was able to track down all three sets, and I now have them. But as a kid, that was all we had. And this changed everything. I always joke with people and I say, man, if I had this back in 1996 or 1997, when I was a teenager, in middle school and high school, I wouldn't have known what to do with myself. So it's really sad that it's come to an end. I've met a lot of great and wonderful people that I consider good friends of mine. People like Damien over at Irish Trekkie. And of course, my good friend Chris T. Judge over at the Trek Collector. And Nils, and many of these guys, and Linda and girls and stuff like that, we've all kind of come together because this collection that we've obsessed over with these ships every single month, and watching each other's reviews and videos and chatting about it and what we hoped it would come out and all this kind of stuff. It's been one hell of a ride. And despite the negativity about the company that's going around right now, I am happy and extremely grateful for the collection. Not only because I have all of these ships that I stop and look at almost every day, but because of the people that I've met. And that's something that they can't take from me, that nobody can take from me. Nobody can take from you if you got part of it. So, there won't be very many reviews anymore of the Star Trek Starships. I do have a few that I intend to randomly track down as time goes on, hopefully sooner rather than later, because this is one of those things that once the company has officially gone kablooey, these things, the market or the value will suddenly go up overnight. And I never thought that would happen. We all kind of figured it would end someday, but not like this. So there are a few random ones that I intend to track down. I do have the Jupiter Station and the Bonaventure that I will be getting from somebody very soon. So that's something that I look forward to sharing with you. A little bit bittersweet perhaps when it does finally end up in my hands. I still don't have that Ferengi shuttle from that shuttle pack that I wanted. It's the only one out of that set that I want. And there were a few other knickknacks here and there, but for the most part, I'm very content. I'm very grateful, and it's just unfortunate because I won't have any more of those videos or ships to show you. I'll still be around. I'll still show you other things, Superman figures, Ghostbusters stuff, and of course any other cool Star Trek stuff that I may get my hands on of that nature, but it just won't be that anymore. So guys, it's been great. And for those of you that have stuck around and tolerated all my ramblings and uhs and stammering and bloopers and all that kind of stuff, I thank you. And yeah, I'll still be around. Please feel free to reach out to me. I'd love to hear from any of you. And I hope you guys are doing well. And take care of yourselves and each other. We live in some very trying and unsettling times. And yeah, I just want you all to be well and safe. So guys, until next time, live long and prosper. Value your collections. I know I certainly will. And I hope to see you guys around.